to veľmi nebezpečné. Preto idú s nami títo chlapi so sopikmi. Nesmie tu absolútne nikto okrem armády nosiť zbraň v tejto oblasti. Ak niekoho chytia, tak mu ju doberú a ak ju nebudú chcieť odovzdať, tak ho zastrelia.
Only allowed to have the gun to soldiers.
Len vojaci jediní môžu mať pri sebe zbraň.
I fell in love with the African continent because of its diversity. To many, the treasures are the vast national parks where ideal conditions for wildlife animals are created. Their reproduction is supervised by geneticists. They are protected by rangers and taken care of by keepers and various foundations. But I am attracted to a different Africa. The Africa of preserved natural communities living in the same territories where their ancestors used to live. On contrast to animal protection, nobody protects the African tribes. The decision to document the original life of the Ethiopian tribe Suri has been sped up by a report on satellite scanning of Africa, which I found on the internet. They found deposits of oil in the south of Ethiopia. A foreign corporation, Africa Oil, is planning an extensive extraction right on the Suri's tribal territory.
It's 9:30, and you have one more time. No. Vinegar. Injera.
We are traveling for the third time to Ethiopia. We always thought about how we could use an inflatable raft. This time, 5 of us are going to raft downstream the unexplored Gojep River. And most important, we will try to cross the mountains to the Suri tribes and experience their mysterious ritual called Donga. Our driver's name is Kato. He explains to us how the political situation has changed since our last visit. Do you want land? Are you interested in exploring mines? Do you need oil? Gold? You need to bribe their prime minister. He has exalted himself about all, which understandably got him on the list of the top 100 richest people in the world. The government doesn't care about the ordinary people and the future of their country. You can feel the fear from the government and the police corps in the country. From our team, Ivan Bulik has traveled through Africa the most. He must have been to all the states in Africa. We went through many African adventures together, and his idea of finding the last naturally living Suri tribe has excited me. Kato is shaking his head when we explained our plan to him. He shows us a message on CNN. 147 inhabitants of one of the Suri settlements, including women and kids, were massacred by the Ethiopian government soldiers. This incident supposed to stay confidential. There are large deposits of gold under their territories, and those are prepared by the Ethiopian government to be sold to foreign mining companies.
Suri now they make revenge.
A že Surmovia to chcú teraz vrátiť federálnej armáde a chcú zasa postrieľať veľa vojakov, že je tu strašne napätá situácia.
On the way to the problematic south side of the country, Cato warns us, stay out of the Suri territory. The government wants to evict them, but the Suri are defending themselves. They won't trust you. They will kill you without hesitation. Trust me, they will kill you. This is a war.
To je ranný prúser. Teraz čakajú všade schovaní Surmovia so samopalmi okolo celého územia a keď sa tam my pohneme, my tam nemôžeme ísť bez policie. Ak tam prídeme s niekým z vojakov, tak budú strieľať.
Cato is anxiously driving us to the Gojep River. We choose Miro Dusak to be the captain of the raft. To him, the adventures with his friends on the wild rivers is the best thing that water sportsmen can experience. Macho Fabianek and Tomo Lukokovic are kayakers. But because of the untouched and unknown African wilderness, they are willing to switch to a raft. Within 2 years of gathering information, we discovered that rafting down the Gojep River is a journey to the unknown. We don't know what to expect. The river is starting to unveil.
Pozri, jak na nás. Poďme trošku na boku. Poďme už, ale nesmieme stať. Nesmieme stať, lebo nás jednú. Poďme, nemôžem takto stať. Tam 4. Idú tam, takže my pôjdeme po ľavom brehu, chlapci. Ako? Po ľavom brehu pôjdeme. Malé. Není dobré. Poďme. Idú na druhú stranu. Na druhý breh. Odkiaľ išli, tam musíme ísť my. Je strašne veľa. Naspäť. Tam sme henta na pravý breh. Musia sa vydoriť, aby sme videli, kde sú. A majú mladé, to je na... Ešte. Zimom riavky, ty vole, aj muchy sa zlakli. Jediný problém, ktorý tam bol to mladé.
Stará, to si videl, stará išla po nás.
Však to čo si?
Stará išla.
Ona križovala cestu, išli sme doprava, išla doprava, išli sme doľava, ona nešla, že sa uhnúť. To vôbec nie.
Fú. Dajme za jeden rýchlo, lebo toto bolo ochot.
Na mňa boli tie hrochy tak blízko hrochám. To už asi v živote nebudem.
Není, treba to osoliť.
Koľko sme ich nesmuli stretnúť?
Viac. Do 100. Muselo byť. Dobre, že tá jedna rodina bola koľko? Možno 10, 12.
Aj na brehu ich bude veľa.
No. Tu je. Počul si ho?
Kde? Počul si ho? Tu je, hneď tu. Tu takto ide hore. Hore prúdom. Treba dávať pozor aj trošku aj na ten breh. Či náhodou nejaký není vonku, len tam. Či sa náhodou neblíži ten breh.
Ale ten hroch sa vynorí tu niekde, chalani, ja to cítim. On normálne sa vôbec nebojí. Bol ďaleko, rozprávali sme sa.
Ale oni sa idú sem pásť.
Áno, no tak ho pustí 2 metre od teba, ja to nechcem.
Ale on sa tu bude všade motať.
Teraz čo spravíš? Vyjde hroch, za ním druhý, za ním tretí, štvrtý a teraz začneš buchať spolu klinkami, tam ho máš zasa. Pred chvíľku sme odplašili. Ja ho zasvieť. To máš 5 metrov, 10 metrov od nás. Je to úplne, oni nemajú základný rešpekt pred nami. Je to úplne jedno, vieš, alebo sa
ale k ohňu nepríde.
Ale prečo najviac ľudí zabije v noci na súdni povedz?
Lebo nemajú oheň.
Všetci domorodci majú oheň. Vieš, my tu nemôžeme...
Dajme ten ráf takto tam.
Počkaj, to nepodceňujú biológovia. Tí majú zo sebou 20 rangerov s puškami, keď idú sledovať 2 vzorky 2 hrošikov niekde v zátorka. Nie, toto tu. Keď majú rešpekt pred nimi domorodci, všade, kde sme boli, tak sa ho boja. A nerešpektovať svorku 6 hrochov sa mi zdá byť absolútne ani to nepoviem.
We seek refreshment in the inflows of the river, where hippos should not be. But in unfamiliar surroundings, one will never know.
Si uvedomte jednu, že sme tu druhí ľudia na svete, že sem už rolníci nechodia. Rýchlo preč! Poďme, rýchlo, hop! Je to tu blízke, makaj! Čekaj preč. Fú! Ty kokos! To je práve chlapci. Preto sme tu druhí ľudia na svete.
Tam ale bol zašutý. Ale ten bol viac prdeli, jak my, ty kokso.
Ty kokso.
Čo sa to...
Srdiečko takto.
Jednou nohou vome, druhou go everybody.
African River Omo flows very fast. It allows us to pass 50 kilometers in a day. We have started our voyage a week ago, and since then, we still haven't encountered any human activity. Our cruise will probably be the last one in this territory. This area will be flooded soon.
Absolútne nepozná pláchosť brehu.
The progress of science and technology has given us power over nature. We all want to own everything. But somewhere in the subconscious, we are starting to suspect what price we will have to pay for this comfort in the future. A dam, tall as the Eiffel Tower, is being built on the river. Subsequently, they will divert the water from the river to the irrigation canals. Landscape will change into plantations, which are then rented to corporations from Malaysia, China, and Indonesia for the cultivation of various crops to trade on world markets. Native shepherds living in the lower reaches of the Omo River are forcefully evicted to less lucrative parts of Ethiopia. Last night on the river, Miro finally caught a fish.
Rybu chytil iba až kedy, ale chyť krokodila. A potom ešte aj druhý prichádzal, ale... A vieš, ak nám bolo dobre, no a čo?
All of us are kind of sad. Beautiful voyage in the Ethiopian wilderness comes to an end. Definitive decision was made. Today, Ivan and I will separate from the rest of the team. Everybody is quiet. Everybody is thinking about the risks of our next journey to the Suri tribe, and whether we will be able to experience and document the ancient African ritual Donga.
Díky za všetko, chlapi, a...
Takže, na splnené sny, páni. Hej! Páni, ďakujem, fakt ďakujem za skvelú spoluprácu a ďakujem za tú česť s vami v tomto rafte žiť a s vami existovať. Ďakujem, že ste mi dali možnosť.
We are entering a wild river forest. For a long time, only two of us remain.
Na tu sú poschovaní všetci, aha, ďalšie. Jak sa schovali?
We are meeting the first natives. A message that we are trying to get to the Suri territory is spreading quickly. A man approaches us. Proves to be very important to us later on. As we understand, he is from the tribe Suri. We are trying to persuade him to take us with him. He doesn't even want to hear about it. After long negotiations, Baragul decided he would become our guide, and our guard as well. During the walk, we found out that Suri people are on their way home from a meeting with neighboring tribes who are concerned about the drastic changes in the basin of the Omo River. Although Suri people are a shepherd's tribe, they are hunters as well. They are showing us an area where they hunt, and that it soon is going to be transformed into plantations. Rent and tillage are progressing here rapidly. Soon, even foreign companies begin to grow a variety of commodities that are in demand in the world. After marching for a few days, we are finally arriving into the first of probably 30 Suri settlements scattered throughout widely spread territory. The natives are looking at us suspiciously. Why are these two white men from a completely different world trying to pass their territory? After long negotiation, the chief chose a place for our tent. It is right next to his hut. The curious ones are touching the walls of the tent. The bolder ones have seamlessly stolen our tent pegs. We have never seen them again. In the evening, while bathing in the river, we were spotted by the women returning from the field. We have become a grateful topic. They didn't stop giggling during the night. I don't even know what day it is. In Africa, it still doesn't mean anything. Time is the gift of Africa. To Suri people, the most precious thing is the cattle. Men, since they are little boys, are learning to take care of them, sleeping with it, eating with it, and looking for the best grassland. Young shepherds are devotedly caring for their cattle until it is handed over to the bride's parents. A beautiful woman can cost more than 25 cows. The herd is so precious to the Suri people that they would rather eat the roots of plants and face hunger just to save every piece. The essential part of Suri shepherd is a wooden stick. Every man makes his own. On the thinner end, they cut out a shape of a man's penis, symbolizing manhood. This stick is used in the notorious ritual of Donga. We came here because of it. Most of the Suri women have inserted a large ceramic plate into their lower lip. Why are they decorated this way is still a mystery. Perhaps it is a true story that during the slave hunters' invasion, the hunters were not interested in women beautified this way. Hence, the Suri man would rather marry a woman that nobody would steal from him. Those are not soldiers. Baragalu calmed us down. Those are celebratory blanks for the winner of Donga. With the feeling that we almost made it, we continue further with our guide. It is hard to imagine how ancient travelers managed to enter the unknown. They traveled hundreds of kilometers without food, water, and any knowledge of the surrounding area. They were accompanied by fever, cramps, unknown diseases, massive communication problems, and misunderstandings caused by different cultures. The reward was the discovery of new tribes and getting familiar with unknown habits that in the former world were unprecedented. One of them was the Donga. Baragalu is telling us that when a man has plenty of cows, he may also have 2 wives. Each of them has their own hut and fireplace. They mainly take care of the crops, grain, food, water, timber, and their own beauty. In their gardens, they grow cabbage, peppers, pumpkin, cassava, spinach, and mainly corn. A man shares the hut with the woman with whom he feels more comfortable. Calmness of the settlement is starting to affect us. An old feeling inside of me wakes up. Where have I experienced this kind of peacefulness before? Suddenly I remember. In my mind, I find myself as a child at my grandparents' cottage, where they peel the harvested corn. Due to their care of the crops and the animals, they were completely self-sufficient. Gradually, I remember what my grandfather once advised me. Never sell your land. There will never be more of it. They don't have any modified ingredients, chemical fertilizers, no E's or artificial flavorings. They have no junk food, no stress, bombs, homeless people, or crime. They don't have to be scared of any debts, unemployment, pollution, and waste. We are finding out that there will be Donga in 2 days. We choose to travel into the mountains immediately. But as soon as we arrived at the designated place, we found out that Donga will not happen. A secret Donga combat took place in a further valley. Soldiers have surprised the natives and put the organizers in prison. Baragalu encourages us. Despite all the prohibitions and regulations, Suri people can't live without Donga. We have to stay patient. we are arriving into Baragalu settlement, where he meets his 2 wives and 5 children. His family welcomed him after a few weeks, as if he had just returned from a short walk. Approximately 6,000 Suri people are living in this widely spread area for millennia. They don't have a writing system, therefore they do not possess any documents for their land. For a long time, this situation had suited the government in Addis Ababa because Suri people protected the southern border with Sudan. In 2011, everything changed due to the satellite scanning. After the evaluation of the seismic images of the area under the Suri tribes, they discovered large deposits of oil. The Prime Minister decided that foreign companies would lease their land for mining oil, gold, and crop production. After all, progress of the country is worth sacrificing the area and the Suri tribe. The government is sending specially trained federal units to this territory. Asphalt road built by Chinese companies is slowly coming to the Suri area. The proven colonization scenario is always the same. First, they ban all the Suri traditions such as donga, plates in their lips, and scarifying their bodies. Simply everything that constitutes the essence of their culture. Then they will dress them up in t-shirts and relocate them to less fertile areas where they won't be able to graze their cattle and will be forced to work on the plantations. Baragalu's children await such a fate. The natives are asking razors from us. Nudity is natural to them. Therefore, they focus on enhancing their hair and skin. Their aim is to attract the opposite sex and to differentiate themselves. Women cannot be banned from wearing plates on their lower lip. After all, to Suri people, this is the highest symbol of beauty. Baragalu nods. A woman must have a big plate in her lip. Otherwise, I wouldn't want her. To Suri women, painful scarification is considered the symbol of courage and bravery, which is valued the most. Although their scarification might seem crazy to us, to Suri people, our piercings, silicone breasts, and lips injected with botulinum toxin may seem as barbarism without meaning and content. Each one of their habits, no matter how outrageous or irrational, may seem to us, is part of a system built over centuries. I do not understand how she can dance and have fun with her friends with so many fresh wounds. We are far from being brave.
Čiara je sudanská hranica. No a toto vlastne na spodku, tento terčí sme my teraz, na konci v horách.
Takže, teraz sme na vrchole pod úpetím Kuru, vlastne najposvetnejšie, najväčšie hory, ktorú tu majú Surmovia, veľmi si vážia, uznávajú. A obchádzame hlavné správne mesto Kibiš, kde sú vlastne policajti federálnej jednotky, ktoré monitorujú celú oblasť kvôli tomu, aby sa vlastne Donga nikde nemohla udiať. No ale dozvedeli sme sa, že sú ešte možné 3 miesta niekde hlboko v horách. Máme možno percentnú šancu, 1% šancu, že sa nám podarí nájsť nejaké tajné miesto, pretože tie miesta sú už veľmi tajné. A sami Surmovia sa boja povedať Surmom, že kde Donga je, pretože im hrozí väzenie. Samozrejme aj nám. Oni teda tu idú prvýkrát, nikdy v živote teda tu nešli. Pýtajú sa po ceste sami ľudí, že kde sa dá ísť, kde sa nedá ísť. Jediný Bargulu to tu ako tak pozná. Čiže je to vlastne miesto, kde vlastne biela noha nestúpila.
We were told that the government troops have shot a few natives and have had many imprisoned. The situation is very intense. The natives are afraid of another massacre. Therefore, we are going deeper into the inaccessible mountains, looking for forgotten settlements that would take us in. We are arriving to the settlements where the shepherds camp late at night. All the time we spent with the Suri people, I didn't see anyone sitting, as if sitting down was the most unnatural position for the body. We are trying to find out when they hold the ceremony of drinking cattle's fresh blood. Once all the tribes practiced this ritual across Africa, but now it is very rare. Only Suri people are used to do it as a preparation for Donga. They believe that drinking cattle's blood gives them strength and energy. We remain sleeping at the shepherd settlement. One of them is pointing towards the highest mountain occupied by their divinity. This is not a god of our understandings. It is rather a kind of energy source to which one should be able to connect. Suri people do not believe in an afterlife, neither in heaven nor on earth. To them, life ends with the physical death. For regular blood donation to shepherds, each cow deserves an award. The ceremony doesn't hurt the cows. Cows are too precious to Suri people. At noon, we're going with the older shepherds to the river. I realize that preventing Donga won't be easy, because Donga determines the status of the Suri men in the tribe. All that matters is courage, not money or reputation. To them, it is an ancient tradition that they cherish and maintain. If Suri people give in to the government bans, they would lose the meaning of their lives, ancient customs that brings together the whole tribe and keeps it in order. Looking at them forces me to think if deformation of our bodies reveals anything about the deformation of our thinking, which controls the consumer life. What I always admired about the native people is their gait. That natural gait that differs from our civilized one. It demonstrates no fear, no shame, nor humility. No dodging sight, no stoop or scoliosis. Donga is not only important to men, but also to women. It is a phenomenon for which all the single women in the settlement are waiting for. We are finding out that it is the place where they choose their future husbands based on their fighting skills. If they start dating, the young couple are tested for several months. If their parents agree, there will be a wedding ceremony full of singing and dancing. Natural people have no desire to live as we do. We don't want to live like them. But respect for other cultures makes us cultural. Natural tribes do not limit our way of life. We are the ones who urgently need their raw materials and land. Only those will allow us to continue to live in comfort, which is the price for consumption of natural resources. The earth cannot withstand the same standard of living for all the people living on it. Therefore, you must respect all the communities that live on our planet frugally and without as many requirements as we have. Soon we will have to leave the Suri territory, and we still do not know if we have a chance to participate in Donga. We only know that this ritual will soon disappear. Like animals, people also fight for position in a society. The men from the settlement are going to rehearse combat with sticks. Yvonne and me researched a lot about Donga, but everything was inconsistent and unreliable information. I am quite confused. The information doesn't sit right with me, and one information rules out the other. We couldn't find a trustworthy source that would describe this ritual so that we know how it takes place. Suddenly, the desired information arrives. Donga will happen today. But we still didn't win. The tribal chiefs might not accept us, or the federal troops may violently end Donga until we arrive. To keep us safe, Baragalu is still with us. He tries to explain the strict rules of Donga. If someone falls down after being stroked or blood appears, the match is immediately stopped. If any of the warriors kneels down, it means that something is not right. The warrior respects his opponent and the match is interrupted. Usually, the men need to fix their pads or replace a cracked stick that could hurt the opponent. To be a referee is a great honor, and only important and skilled warriors can have this position. If they want to interrupt a fight, they throw a stick in between the opponents. It is unbelievable the powerful hits these men can withstand. No one ever shows any sign of weakness, pain, or fear. nobody. Despite their small quantity, Suri people are dangerous to the government. Their determination to not only defend their wife and family, but the entire tribe is extremely strong. And this is at a time when many other tribes have already lowered their heads and turned their backs to the repression of their governments. Despite the enormous pressures of civilization, naked Suri people still insist on their ancient traditions. Ivan suddenly signals that it is time to leave. Baragalu learned that the federal troops are on their way here. Our presence on Donga would mean imprisonment from which we wouldn't get out. Not to mention if someone from the Suri tribe fires in self-defense. We must urgently leave. In my mind, I can still see the people that I begin to appreciate for their pride, wildness, and freedom. Along the way, I wonder how long they can withstand the pressure of their own governments and global corporations, as it may seem that Suri people are hindering the progress of mankind. Despite raising the standards of living, all of us subconsciously feel that our new way of living is not sustainable over time. Perhaps the last remains of the natural tribes that still remain in remote corners of the world carry a concealed knowledge and guidance for long-term survival of mankind. After all, we lived in symbiosis with nature for 99% of our total existence. I agree that discovering the habits of natural cultures can often amaze, shock, or repel us. But learning about them teaches us something. To restrain our self-glorification and what is important for our existence. To respect different ways of living on our planet.